Welcome dear amazing friends. I am Z. In today's episode 1 I'm sharing a wonderful story of Barack Obama, the former President of United States. Let's go back to a cold day in January 2009. Millions were gathered on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Some had waited in the snow. Others had flown across oceans. All had come to witness one thing: a man, tall, calm, and confident, stepped up to a podium, and then, he began to speak. My fellow citizens, I stand here today humbled by the task before us. That voice, that tone, that unmistakable rhythm, Barack Obama. Not just the 44th President of the United States, but one of the greatest English communicators in modern history. What made Obama's speeches so unforgettable, it wasn't just the writing, though yes, he wrote many of them himself. It wasn't just the historic moments, though he had plenty. It was something deeper, something every English learner and speaker can learn from. It was how he said things, the tone, the pause, the silence between the sentences, and the power of simple, honest language. Obama understood something most politicians forgot: the best way to connect with people is not to speak at them, but to them. Barack Obama didn't come from privilege. He was raised by a single mother and grandparents in Hawaii. He lived in Indonesia as a child. He faced identity questions his entire life, struggling with belonging, race, and purpose, but through all that, one thing became his superpower: the English language, not just for reading books, not just for passing exams, but for telling his story, for building bridges, for giving hope. His speeches weren't performances, they were conversations with a nation. Listen to how he speaks. Not fast, not mechanical. He lets words breathe. He slows down where it matters. He speeds up when there's fire in his message. He builds up with emotion, and then, pause, delivers truth. That's not just talent. That's intention. That's someone who understands the power of tone in English. The way your voice can lift people up, or calm them down. The way a pause can be louder than a paragraph. When he spoke after tragedies, Charleston, Sandy Hook, Ferguson, his tone carried sorrow, strength, and solidarity, all at once. When he spoke about hope, or change, or unity, his voice soared. Here's what's amazing: Barack Obama rarely used big, complicated words. His genius wasn't in sounding smarter than everyone. It was in making everyone feel smarter. He used everyday vocabulary to explain deep ideas. He spoke like someone you trust at your kitchen table. Yes, we can. Just 3 words. But how those words were delivered, slow, strong, rising in tone, made the world believe again. As English learners, we often feel pressure to use big words. Obama proves the opposite: speak clearly, speak truthfully, speak simply. That's real power. Obama's English is logical, structured, grammatically clean. But what sets him apart is that every sentence also comes with emotion. He doesn't hide behind cold facts. He connects the head and the heart. When he talked about his daughters, he sounded like a dad. When he honored civil rights leaders, he sounded like a student of history. When he challenged America to do better, he sounded like a friend, not a ruler. He used pronouns like tools: we, to include; you, to empower; I, to relate; they, to confront injustice. Every word had purpose. Every sentence had a soul. You don't have to be Barack Obama to speak like him. You don't need to be a president to communicate powerfully. You just need to remember what he showed us. Tone matters more than grammar. Say it with heart. Say it with purpose. Speak slowly and clearly. Let your words land. Let people feel them. Use simple words, but speak about big ideas. Talk about courage, hope, change, kindness. Practice pausing. A well-placed pause is a sign of control and confidence. Believe in your message. If you believe it, others will too. Obama wasn't just a speaker. He was a teacher of communication, without calling himself one. And every time he stood before a crowd or camera, he reminded us: words matter. So, next time you stand in front of a class, a team, a microphone, or even just a mirror, remember Barack Obama. Remember that great English isn't about perfection. It's about connection. About meaning what you say, and saying what you mean. So speak, even if your voice shakes, even if your accent stays, even if your vocabulary is small. Because if you speak with tone, with truth, with hope, you are already powerful. Go watch Obama's speeches, not just for what he says, but how he says it. Practice mimicking his tone. Write your own speech, simple, clear, and from the heart, then say it out loud. Again and again, because you don't need to become Barack Obama. You just need to become the best version of yourself, with your voice. So, Please like, subscribe and leave comments blue. And don't forget to share with your friends because every day I will share a new podcast.